The death of Gabby Petito has spurred a lot of conversations about missing women and about domestic violence. So many of us watched that heartbreaking video of the 22-year-old sitting in a squad car crying as her fiance talks to police, calling her crazy. Dr. Renee Renardi joins us today from Lakeside Center for Behavioral Change to continue this conversation, which it's a terrible story, but I think some important conversations are coming out of this.
Absolutely. And whenever tragedy happens, if we could find some sort of purpose out of it, at least there's something. And I know in an interview, I can't remember if it's with her dad or stepfather, said that she was going to change the world. And I think it is. It's bringing a lot more awareness to domestic violence and to missing persons. And missing persons of all races, all genders, all sexual orientations. And it's not that Gabby's case deserves less attention because she's a white woman, but that other people deserve more.
That's a good point. Well said. Exactly. Let's talk about the Red Dress Project as well.
So the Red Dress Project, and maybe you've seen it in the past of, driving along the freeway and you'll see an empty red dress hanging from a tree. What this is an awareness campaign to bring awareness to missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And maybe you've seen the pictures of the red paint over the face and with the handprint. Because this is very, very important. By far, Indigenous women, as you mentioned, are the victims of domestic violence and murder and missing women that don't deserve the attention that they don't get the attention that they deserve.
To me, it's gone past the point. It is sad, but it's actually maddening. Yeah. In some of the situations where we're not getting the attention, prevention. Can you talk a little bit about the numbers? They're staggering.
Yeah, and I did send over some statistics and some things to look at here. So, these numbers are really, really tough. So we do have some information there too on being able to recognize abuse first. So being able to recognize abuse helps to bring those numbers down a little bit. And it can look a lot of different ways, and it's not always so easy to identify. So looking at when someone's being accusatory, when they're blaming somebody, so when they're tracking their every move. Oftentimes too, we'll see threats, we'll see people throwing things, but it usually doesn't start off that way. It starts off as emotional control and mental control of individuals, controlling their money, controlling who they're socializing with, making them embarrassed in public, making them distant from their loved ones and friends. So there's a lot of information here that we can look to recognize if you yourself are being abused, because like I said, it's not always so easy, and to also recognize if someone that you care about is experiencing abuse.
I've read so much since the video that came out, the body cam video, and people, experts like yourself, reading the situation, reading her body language. A lot of us just watched it and, body cam video. And then people who know what to look for when it comes to the signs of abuse really were able to just pinpoint so many things in that video.
Absolutely.
So here's some of the stats you were talking about. Everybody's wanting to know, why is this still happening? Why does it happen?
And that's the big question. Why is this still happening? Why does this continue to happen? 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience violence by a domestic partner. For women, 1 in 4 experience severe physical violence. 1 in 7 men experience severe physical violence. 1 in 15 children are the witness to domestic disputes in the home. A very sad statistic, 55% of all female homicides are perpetrated by someone who's supposed to love them, by an intimate partner. So we have about 600,000 missing individuals every single year. 17,000 of those are still ongoing. North Dakota, those are our current numbers in the area, North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota. So that's a lot. California being the #1 state per capita, Alaska has the most missing people per capita. So these are really scary statistics, and they have to change.
It affects, more people than you think, your neighbors, your loved ones. So I want to talk a little bit about the resources, but along with that, why do people stay? Then that's a big question that it's hard for people from the outside to understand. If this is happening, Why do victims stay?
They've usually been so emotionally and mentally conditioned to blame themselves or to believe that no one's going to help them or this is just the way that it is, or they're terrified to leave. There may be threats against their children, against their pets, embarrassment. That they're fearful for their lives to leave. It's not easy. It takes multiple attempts usually for individuals to get out of those situations.
And there are people that can help though. So if you're
Absolutely.
watching right now, we have some of the resources up there. Take that step, ask for help.
Absolutely. So call 911, talk to a friend, talk to a family member, don't keep it a secret. Talk to your religious leader, talk to someone. Here's some hotlines here for the domestic violence hotline, Rape and Abuse Crisis Center, the YWCA, our local organizations. They do a fantastic job. We have Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. We have Black and Missing Foundation, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children are just a few resources to look into.
Dr. Renardi, thank you for coming in today. Such an important conversation. It's hard to see those numbers. Gabby's story is heartbreaking, but it's a much bigger problem.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, it is.
thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back here on North Dakota Today.